Today, I'm building a superhero academy in Lego, where minifigures will train their powers and push their skills to the limit with the hope of one day becoming true heroes. It all began with the meteor shower.
Breaking news. Meteors from a distant galaxy are hurtling towards Lego City. Take cover immediately.
As the meteors rained down, gas spread through the city, mutating the DNA of anything it touched, and those infected were granted incredible powers. However, they were volatile and unpredictable, leading to chaos and turmoil. Throughout the city, criminals harnessed their new abilities for wickedness and took advantage of those without powers. The city was divided, and protests broke out with demands for protection against the supers. To restore order, the government launched the Supers Institute Initiative, a program to relocate all supers to an academy where they could learn to control their powers. Which brings us to Samson. He heaved the rock, but with the strain, fell into a coma. Samson's vision slowly faded into focus. He was surrounded by beeping monitors, IVs, and stuff he didn't recognize. Looking down, he found his arms chained to the bed, and the doctor raising the needle. Sprinting all the way home, Samson cowered in his bedroom, but hardly a minute later, an ominous black car rolled towards his driveway. Before he could stop his mom, she answered the door, met by two FBI agents. Flashing their badges, they took Samson into custody. He was the only super in his family, so he'd be traveling to the academy alone. Samson's new home would be the institution's dorm. Inspired by buildings like the Porsche headquarters, it has a modern, cutting-edge look. And to really make it stand out, I elevated the entire thing. Stepping out of the car, Samson looked around at a slew of bizarre teenagers in strange outfits. So much had happened during his coma, isolating him even more. In his room, a set of clothes waited for him. His roommates barged in, Cryptid and Orion. They were surprisingly nice, making Samson feel just a bit better. Cryptid had animalistic reflexes and insane agility, and Orion could blast cosmic gamma rays from the palm of his hand. As they sat down for lunch underneath the dorm, they promised to help him learn the ropes of his new life. To connect the dorm to the rest of the academy, I gathered a ton of windows and hinge pieces to create this glass hallway. It leads to the Institute's training complex, a massive multi-floor facility built atop an entire base plate. Since this is where supers push their limits, the structure is reinforced with industrial support beams. From the dorms, simply follow the hallway until you come to this fortified sliding doorway. It's built sideways and runs along track pieces. And if you're coming from outside, a biometric scanner activates the door's gears. Inside, there's a ton of room for training, starting with this track. It's perfect for speedsters looking to push their limits. Next, I built a giant obstacle course of platforms, bars, and ropes for agility training. And with these rings, minifigures swing back and forth. These punching dummies are perfect for practicing hand-to-hand combat, and when you're ready to spar against a real opponent, you can step inside the ring. Rising overhead are platforms where minifigures can take a breather or get in some extra target practice. When Samson stepped inside, he was blown away by the sight of all the minifigures training. To ease into things, Cryptid figured they'd better start simple.
You see this target? Give it just a little punch. Nothing crazy. Go ahead.
After their short-lived training session, it was time for science class. The building continues the Academy's futuristic, tech-based style. I borrowed this dome from the desert biome of my previous video. It's perfect for a second-floor classroom. Inside, the lab is full of microscopes, beakers, computers, and experimental equipment. The class is led by Dr. Magnus Quasar, whose research has revealed the first real clues about how the meteorites alter DNA. With his expertise, students can learn how to develop and control their abilities. Since Cryptid and Orion had different classes, Samson was on his own and had no idea what he was doing. As his first day came to an end, Samson wasn't sure if he belonged at the academy, or anywhere else for that matter. As students prepare for a new day, they can stop by their lockers to pick up their gear. Our next class is Foundations of Heroism, where among other things, each student designs and then creates an original supersuit using equipment like this sewing machine. It's taught by Master Seamstress Mrs. Valerian. Overwhelmed by the wall of fabric, Samson just randomly picked out red and gold. But by then, the class had moved on to a video showcasing supers who had mastered their powers to help others. And as he watched, he felt just a faint glimmer of hope for himself. Up in the dome is Forgecraft, where students master the arts of blacksmithing and engineering as they build gear to suit their abilities and powers. Scattered around the room are racks of tools, batteries, and more. Professor Irons is perfectly suited to oversee the class. His body has the power to morph into living metal. The professor warmly welcomed Samson and they began working on plans for his gear. Next up, Driver Zed, Supers Edition. Taught by none other than Batman himself, it'd be an understatement to say he has a ton of experience. Which is perfect for our class because every student must assemble their own vehicle. Since Cryptid has been at the academy since day one, he's had plenty of time to perfect his. It's the perfect match for his bestial nature, with enough power to climb any terrain with ease. And speaking of traversing through terrain, the test track is far from a simple drive. Students must dodge obstacles and avoid the crash dummies at all costs.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Mess up and Batman will happily fail you. However, it was the first class where Samson felt confident. He had grown up working on the old truck with his dad. He figured he could apply at least some of the knowledge. As the days passed at the academy, he continued to train, slowly gaining control of his strength. He made some new friends and transformed his once barren room into a place that was nice for him to study and do homework, or just hang out and have some fun. Eventually, he even settled on a design for his supersuit. And he had to admit, he ended up looking pretty cool. Working alongside Professor Irons, they forged a set of power gauntlets. With internal regulators, he can turn things up when it's go time, or dial them down for more delicate situations. A big part of being a super is crisis intervention, so today, students are rescuing hostages. Unfortunately, Samson picked the wrong tool. After weeks of working, Samson finally finished his vehicle. It features a sleek, aerodynamic chassis and winglets that fan out over the engine. Open it up for attack formation or keep it closed for maximum speed. And let's just say, he passed his driver's test with ease.
I'm Batman.
As the year came to a close, Samson still had one final exam. Enter this burning building and save the civilian trapped on the 3rd floor with no gear. He rushed in without hesitation. Without thinking, he burst through the wall, killing the civilian. On his second try, he had to slow down and think. Grabbing a chair, he climbed up and burst through the roof. Looking down, he could see the dummy. And with that, he passed. As the supers mastered their powers, the government noticed. Eventually, they were eased back into society, and by using their powers to help people in need, the divisions between them and the public were healed. And one day, Samson got his chance. The car was about to blow. Samson knew all his struggles had led him to this moment, fulfilling his destiny. If you could pick any superpower, tell me what it would be down in the comments. And until next time, see you later.